Hello everyone and welcome back. No matter how much I grew up, coming back from parents' home and settling back to my earlier routine is still a tough ask for me. And I needed a strong reason to pep myself up. So I decided to bring in some festive mood into the house and create a happy aura all around. This time I bought back my Mandir silverware that was kept with my parents for quite a while. Silver had oxidized and turned completely black now. So I got on to the job of turning silverware back to its shiny days. Today I will show you two ways that work best for me in cleaning my silverware or similar metals that changes color on oxidization. Starting with the most talked about toothpaste cleaning method, I use the old toothbrush and a white based toothpaste to clean the first vessel. Scrubbing with little toothpaste and adding water little by little helps in releasing the tarnish and gives the same luster. I must say, this silver matki got its previous shine back. What do you guys think? Then I move to the next method, which is called the salt and lemon bath. Simply squeeze some lemon in the salt and start rubbing it on the silverware. I first started scrubbing with a toothbrush, but hands gives the better results in the stains that are tough. With just a little bit of elbow grease, I could see the tarnish fading, and with this way as well, my silverware was again shining bright. If you guys know any better way of cleaning such utensils, then do let me know in the comments below. And this is the final reveal. I was really happy with the outcome. All the Mandir silverware came out bright and shining. And somebody was very happy to find new toys, it seems. This little impressive cleaning gave me enough motivation to ramp up the festive vibes. And what better than food? I got on to make an elaborate thali to feel the real essence of the festive preparation. Starting with sevai kheer, as this will be served as prasad to the Ganesha today. Starting by adding some ghee in the pan, I will first roast half a cup sevaiyan and some nuts in the ghee to give this dish a nice aroma. Once sevaiyan turn golden brown, I will add half part milk and let it boil till sevaiyan are done. Add sugar and keep scraping and mixing the malai from the sides. I like to keep the kheer a little runny, so I will again add other half part of the milk and cook till milk boils. At the end, I will just add a pinch of cardamom powder and the delicious prasad is ready. Next, I'll go ahead and prepare the vegetables. For thali, I always select the veggie options which ask for similar preparation to reduce half the job. So here I am preparing tomato puree for dal makhani as well as kadai paneer. Another trick of making extensive thali is to choose dishes which may take longer to cook but ask for lesser efforts while cooking. Dal makhani is one such dish. I will do the required preparation first before starting to cook, as this way there is lesser to and fro while cooking. So for dal makhani, I will start by adding butter and ghee in the cooker, because the intention is to make our dal makhani. After adding jeera and ajwain, I'll just add haldi powder and half the prepared tomato puree. Saute the puree for 2-3 minutes and then add the basic dry masala, which is coriander powder, chili powder and garam masala powder, and let everything cook till oil leaves its sides. Now at the end, just add salt and pre-soaked sabut urad dal into the masala. Add hot water just 1 inch above the dal level and let it cook for 3 to 4 whistles. While dal is cooking, I'll prepare my kadhai paneer masala. Here I will dry roast coriander seeds, cloves, some cinnamon and fennel seeds together in a tadka pan. Grind the masala into a coarse powder and freshly made kadhai masala is ready. Now in a kadhai, add some butter. I will saute the chopped veggies for kadhai paneer before making the gravy. Cook only for 4 to 5 minutes to retain the crunch of the veggies. Repeat the same process with the tomatoes now. If you wish to offer the whole thali to Lord, you may choose to skip the onions altogether. These colorful veggies are looking so appetizing. Now in the same pan, I will add some oil, jeera and the prepared kadhai paneer masala. Immediately add the remaining tomato puree to avoid the masala from burning. Mix well and then add the powdered masalas: haldi, red chili powder and coriander powder. Once masala leaves the oil, add the sauteed vegetables. To this, now add the diced paneer and coat everything well with this prepared masala. Now to add some gravy, I will add half a cup milk and stir continuously to avoid the milk from curdling. Another 5 minutes and the kadhai paneer is done. At the end, add some salt, crushed kasuri methi and lots of chopped coriander leaves to give this kadhai paneer some restaurant-like flavor. On the other side, open the cooker and mash the dal to give it some body. Now I'll add 1 cup milk to the dal in 2 parts along with some kasuri methi and let it simmer for a good 15 to 20 minutes or even longer, as the real flavor of dal makhani comes in slow simmer only. After 15 to 20 minutes, dal will get very creamy and will be ready for the final tadka. For tadka, I'll take 2 teaspoons ghee, jeera, red chilies and half teaspoon red chili powder and mix the tadka in the dal. Then I'll make quick peas pulao with the prepared rice. It takes extra 10 minutes but gives a vibrant color to the thali. A pomegranate raita will be a nice cooler to my thali. I use my prepared raita masala and just added lots of pomegranate seeds to it. And for condiment, I made a quick mint coriander chutney. In a blender, I added 1 green chili, mint leaves and coriander leaves with roots. I learned this trick in Malaysia as they use coriander roots to bring more flavor to all the Thai curries. And it surely makes a difference. Before grinding, add cumin, salt, very little sugar and a handful of peanuts. This is just one variation of many coriander chutneys that I make. Peanuts give a good taste and a body to the chutney. Once chutney is done, just add half a lemon juice to it. And finally, I made tawa tandoori roti to add something different from usual thali. At times, just these small changes makes a meal special and different from everyday dishes. Making thali did involve some effort, but it was a kickstart for me to get going with the upcoming festivities. I feel all the hard work paid off by looking at this vibrant and delicious thali. This definitely has kicked off the festive mood in the house and given me a lot of punch to do my further festive preparation. Placing the food one by one on thali gave me enough joy and happiness to look forward to my coming days. At times, small steps like this is what you need to get running again. But before we enjoyed our elaborate vegetarian thali, my humble serving for Ganpati was ready. I hope you found this video helpful and found some ideas on creating your own festive thali. Show some love by hitting that like button and share your thoughts on my silverware cleaning in the comments below. And I will see you in my next video. Until next time, stay tuned.